have roughly 8 minutes to talk about this. Should have not recorded, but I think I work really well under pressure, so we will go through it. Okay, first things first. So today is March 9th. Oh my god, there's so many things I need to address. First of all, I just woke up, and also I'm working and I really shouldn't be filming this, but I got 8 minutes until my next meeting. We will push through. We got this. So I wrote my check-in for week 2 days ago, and this is what I put. I did 5 days out of 7 of my morning pages. They felt really good. More and more they're starting to feel like more and more they're starting to feel like this is part of my routine, not a thing that I have to do. It's flowing is what I said. It really is just a brain dump, and it feels funny and silly to realize what I ended up doing and what I wanted to do. Mainly because I would be like, throughout the week I would say, oh, I really need to do XYZ, and then after that I gotta go do this, and then I end up doing like half of them and doing something else, which is like, oh, okay, so I still need to do that. With that said, let's move on to the second one. I'm sorry I'm rushing through this, because if I don't film this now, I'm gonna forget it. Okay, I did not go out this week, although it was raining this weekend and I've been home since Friday afternoon. I hit my pen multiple times after a month. I watched One Direction music videos from the Midnight Memories era and read some of my book. I studied Spanish and I did my affirmations. Come Saturday, I slept from 1 a.m., so like the night of Friday, 1 a.m., and I woke up at 10 a.m. and I stayed in bed until 3 p.m. Got up, ate a meal, watched the new Upstairs Neighbor episode with Tanner, and I napped at 5 p.m. and I woke up at 10 p.m. It was a great time spent with myself. Love, love, love. Felt really good to enjoy my company, because on top of me being high as shit by myself, watching One Direction music videos from that era of Midnight Memories, mind you, I was 13 during that time. No, I think I was 11 or 12. Either way, I'm not a fan of One Direction yet, though I have heard of them at that point. And so I just rewatched Story of My Life, and when they got to Louis' part where like his grandparents were no longer with him, bitch, I started bawling like a motherfucker, because I know what it's like. Also, just like knowing the amount of losses that he will go through after that. Fuck. He lost his mom and his sister, bro. Like, what the fuck? I wrote about him in my morning pages because I was like, my god. Next is, I realized that I am an extremely jealous person. Fuck. So that's the real reflection for this week. All right. And whether or not my upbringing had to do with that, because of the constant comparison, people would outright tell me, I don't know. But I have 2 types of jealousy, I feel. One is rooted in admiration and wanting to have what someone has. It could be a physical trait, an object, possession, etc., to which I always immediately clock. When I say immediately clock, I mean like whenever someone has something that I do not have, and I'm like, and I start looking for things to criticize them on, I'm always like, Les, you know damn well you're only saying that because they have XYZ and you don't. So instead, use that to fuel you and understand, like, if they can have it, you can have it too. And then boom, immediately snuff that shit out in my head. Okay, I have 4 minutes. The second thing is when a person in my life that I'm close with prioritizes someone or something else over me, or I'm just not given as much attention. And it goes back to the reflection I had in week 1, which is that I need to let people be, and I need to redirect the focus on what I can control, which are my actions. I can recognize and appreciate where I am in life right now. I don't want to focus on what I don't have. It doesn't do me good. It just highlights the lack. What? Okay. I'm appreciating what and who I have. I exercise my gratitude, and I become more aware of how good I got it. I don't know what the fuck I was writing, but so the second type of jealousy is that sometimes I start putting people above. Okay, sometimes I start really just prioritizing people more than they prioritize me, which always shows at the end when I realize that, like, oh, you do not love me as much as I love you, and you do not care or consider me as much as I care and consider you. And it always sucks because then I have to think, does it suck because you expected them to meet you where you were at and they didn't? Or does it suck because in prioritizing this person, you expected them to meet you halfway? That sounds like the same thing, but the second one I just said is, it feels transactional. Like I'm only doing XYZ, so they will do XYZ for me back, which is not a good base to like root your relationship in. I have 1 minute. And so yeah, that's why I started talking about, like, I'm just gonna let people be, because if I keep track of the way like people treat me and the way they care for me, consider me, like, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, because like that's not fair to me or to them. Like, it's not their fault that I decided to prioritize them or like give more shit about them than they do about me. Not their fault, that's on me. But this actually came from a very personal relationship of mine, specifically my family. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, I gotta go. This is a very quick one. I apologize for rushing through it, but I fear that if I didn't talk about it now, I'm never gonna talk about it, or I'm gonna talk about it at a later time, and there's no later time. Like, I need to talk about it now. With that said, thank you for watching. I will see you next week, where hopefully it's not as rushed. I love you. Bye bye.